just when the Pentagon believed the ink was dry and the skies over North America were secured under Lockheed Martin's Monopoly.
A seismic shift has begun to rumble, threatening to upend billions and challenge the U.S. stranglehold on Western air power.
The Swedish-made Saab Gripen E, often dismissed as an underdog, is clawing its way back into the conversation. The catalyst for this resurgence, a potential strategic alliance with one of the most legendary names in aviation history, Rolls-Royce.
This isn't simply about an engine swap. It's about national sovereignty, breaking geopolitical chains, and the future. To understand this, we must dissect the paralyzed state of Canadian military procurement. The process has been marred by political indecision, skyrocketing costs, and a fundamental tug-of-war between the seemingly final decision to acquire 88 F-35 stealth fighters was meant to close this chapter.
However, the realities of operating the F-35 in the high Arctic, combined with the suffocating restrictions of the Joint Strike Fighter program, have left a door ajar.
A door that Sweden is now attempting to kick down.
The Royal Canadian Air Force faces operational challenges unique on the planet. They must patrol the second-largest landmass in the world, covering vast, frozen archipelagos where temperatures plunge to levels that crack standard airframes and freeze hydraulic fluids. They operate from remote, austere forward operating bases with limited infrastructure.
In this specific environment, the F-35's delicate stealth coatings and intense maintenance requirements present a logistical nightmare. The Gripen, conversely, was born for this. It was designed by Sweden to operate from road bases, hidden within forests.
Serviced by conscripts in freezing conditions, and turned around for a new sortie in under 10 minutes.
This stark contrast highlights the Gripen's inherent advantage, built for the very conditions that challenge its competitors.
The choice for Canada is more than just a fighter jet. It's a statement on geopolitical alignment and national autonomy. For Canada, it could mean true operational independence in its own unique and challenging domain. The Gripen E, powered by a potential Rolls-Royce engine, could be the key to Canada's Arctic air superiority.
This decision could redefine global defense industry alliances, challenging long-held assumptions and creating new power dynamics.
Will Canada choose the tried-and-true alliance or blaze a new path, embracing a future where operational reality dictates strategic choice?
The future of air dominance is still being written. Welcome to AirDom.
However, the Gripen has always carried a fatal flaw, a geopolitical Achilles heel that allowed the United States to maintain leverage over its sales.
The Gripen E is powered by the General Electric F414 engine. This is an American power plant, the same reliable.
While mechanically sound, the presence of this engine subjects the Swedish fighter to United States export controls.
Italy. This means that Washington holds a veto card over where Sweden can sell its jets. If the U.S. State Department decides that
for a nation like Canada, which prides itself on sovereignty, or for other nations seeking independence from U.S. foreign policy,
this is where the involvement of Rolls-Royce changes the calculus entirely. Reports and strategic.
Rolls-Royce is a titan in the field of propulsion, with a lineage that traces back to the Merlin engines that saved Britain in the Second World War. By potentially adapting technology from the Eurojet EJ200, the engine that powers the Eurofighter Typhoon.
Let us analyze the technical implications of such a transition. The General Electric F414 is
A Rolls-Royce solution would likely prioritize Supercruise capability, the ability to fly at supersonic speeds.
For Canada's Arctic interception missions, Supercruise is a game changer. It allows a fighter to close the distance.
The Eurojet technology is renowned for its reliability and ease of maintenance, factors that align perfectly with the Gripen's rugged design philosophy.
But the true revolution here is political. A Gripen powered by Rolls-Royce becomes an ITAR-free fighter. For the Canadian government, this presents a tantalizing alternative to the F-35. Under the F-35 program, Canada is essentially a subscriber to a service. The logistics system, formerly known as ALIS and now transitioning to ODIN, is a centralized network.
The source code is a black box.
Canada cannot modify the software, integrate new domestic weapons, or repair critical systems without American permission and oversight.
In a crisis where Canadian and American interests diverge, this dependency is a strategic liability. The future of air power for sovereign nations could hinge on choices like these.
The choice between dependency and true independence has never been clearer. For Canada, an ITAR-Free Gripen offers unparalleled strategic autonomy. It empowers them to modify their software, integrate their own weapons, and repair their critical systems without external approval.
This independence is not just about technology, it's about national security and the very definition of sovereignty. The ITAR-Free Gripen could redefine what it means to be a truly independent air force in the 21st century. A Rolls-Royce-powered Gripen destroys this dependency.
It offers the Royal Canadian Air Force full access to the source code.
The ability to integrate sovereign weapon systems without asking for permission.
And the assurance that their engine supply chain is rooted in the United Kingdom. A Commonwealth partner with a deeply integrated industrial history with Canada, rather than subject to the whims of the US Congress.
This is the definition of sovereignty.
It transforms the aircraft from a rented asset into a national instrument of power.
Furthermore, the industrial benefits of a Rolls-Royce partnership cannot be overstated.
The F-35 program offers industrial participation, but it is highly competitive and centralized. A collaboration with Saab and Rolls-Royce would likely involve the establishment of major engine assembly and overhaul facilities on Canadian soil. We are talking about high-tech aerospace jobs in Montreal and Winnipeg, handling the entire life cycle of the engine.
This creates a domestic knowledge base that protects Canada's aerospace sector from hollowing out.
Instead of just manufacturing parts for an American jet, Canadian engineers would be masters of their own propulsion systems.
Critics will argue that the F-35 is the only choice for modern warfare due to its stealth capabilities and sensor fusion.
While the F-35 is undeniably the most advanced stealth platform in the world, we must critically assess the mission profile.
Canada is not planning to conduct first-day-of-war strikes against dense integrated air defense systems in downtown Moscow or Beijing.
The primary mission of the Royal Canadian Air Force is the defense of North American airspace, sovereignty patrols, and NATO support missions.
For these tasks, the Gripen's electronic warfare suite is more than capable.
In fact, Swedish electronic warfare technology is considered among the best in the world, designed specifically to counter Russian. The Block 4 upgrade for the Joint Strike Fighter has been plagued by delays, overheating issues, and software instability. The cost per flight hour of the remains significantly higher than fourth generation.
The Gripen, with operating costs estimated at a fraction of that, allows for more flight hours, better pilot training, and a higher readiness rate. A Rolls-Royce engine would likely maintain or even improve these efficiency metrics, leveraging British expertise in durability and fuel economy. The global ripple effects of defense partnerships are vast and complex.
If Saab successfully integrates a Rolls-Royce engine, the Gripen becomes a premier choice.
Non-aligned nations, wary of American strings, would flock to this high-performance Western fighter. Every Gripen sold is an F-35 or F-16 left on the tarmac. a nightmare for Lockheed Martin. The US monopoly relies on the lack of viable alternatives. Sweden is fracturing this dominance.
For the Pentagon, this is a direct challenge. A critical diplomatic lever is at stake.
The US has long used engine exports as a tool of soft power. Control of propulsion means control of the Air Force.
We are seeing aggressive lobbying efforts from US officials in Ottawa, pushing for the F-35 deal.
They know that until the metal has been cut and the planes delivered, the contract is vulnerable. A budget crisis or a change in leadership could prioritize sovereignty, bringing the Gripen option back.
The Gripen option, bolstered by British power, returns to the table with a vengeance.
The strategic narrative is shifting. It's no longer just about stealth. The question is about who owns the key to the ignition. With the F-35, the key is in Washington. With a Rolls-Royce powered Gripen, the key is held in Ottawa. This distinction is paramount. We've seen how quickly supply chains can shatter and alliances can be strained in this era of instability.
Relying on a single source for national defense is a strategic gamble many experts advise against.
The Arctic capability gap cannot be ignored. The F-35 single engine faces scrutiny in extreme cold.
Compared to twin-engine competitors or ruggedized single-engine platforms like the Gripen. Rolls-Royce has decades of experience powering aircraft in the North Sea and the Falklands.
Their engineering DNA is forged in cold, wet, and salt-laden environments. A Rolls-Royce optimized Gripen provides Canadian pilots with a level of confidence essential in a blizzard. The timeline for this potential shift is critical. The F-35 delivery schedule for Canada is stretched. Meanwhile, Saab and Rolls-Royce have the capacity to move quickly. The Gripen E is in production now. Integration of a new engine is a complex engineering feat, requiring modifications and testing. But it's not impossible. A modular avionics architecture of the Gripen was designed to be adaptable. The technical hurdles can be overcome. If the political will exists, the technical hurdles can be overcome, reshaping the future of global air power. Let us also address the concept of NORAD integration.
Proponents of the F-35 argue that Canada must fly what the United States flies to be a useful partner in NORAD.
This is a half-truth.
Interoperability is about data links, communication standards, and secure identification systems. It is not about flying identical airframes. The Gripen is fully NATO interoperable.
It utilizes Link 16 data exchange networks and can share target data seamlessly with American F-35s and F-22s.
In a mixed force scenario, the F-35s could act as the silent observers, gathering data and relaying it to the Gripen.
This high-low mix strategy is cost-effective and tactically sound, and it does not require Canada to go all in on a The financial implications of sticking strictly to the F-35 are staggering. We are talking about a life cycle cost that could exceed $70 billion over the decades. If the Rolls-Royce partnership can deliver a Gripen fleet with a life cycle cost that is 30 or 40% lower, the savings could be reinvested. A fighter jet does not exist in a vacuum. It is part of a holistic defense budget. Overspending on air power leaves the rest of the military vulnerable. There is also the matter of the intellectual property trap.
With the F-35, Canada is paying for the privilege of using technology it will never truly understand or own. With a Rolls-Royce and Saab collaboration, the technology transfer opportunities are immense. We could see the development of a new generation of Canadian aerospace engineers who are trained in the deepest intricacies of engine. As we look at the global chessboard, it becomes clear why this development is making waves.
The monopoly of the US military-industrial complex is being tested. The Gripen, empowered by British engineering, represents a third way for Western air power, neither fully American.
For Canada, a nation that has always sought to balance its closeness to the United States with its own independent identity,
The momentum is building. While the official press releases may still laud the F-35, the back-channel discussions are heating up.
If Canada delays payments, or if the F-35 program hits another significant snag, the combination of Swedish airframe efficiency and British propulsion mastery creates a predator that is perfectly evolved for the Canadian environment.
This is a developing story that sits at the intersection of technology, finance, and high-stakes geopolitics. The Pentagon is watching. Lockheed Martin is watching. And the pilots who will have to trust their lives to these machines. The choice between the F-35 and a re-engined Gripen is a choice between integration and independence.
Stay tuned to AirDom as we continue to track this potential procurement revolution.
We dig deeper into the specs, the strategy, and the secrets that the mainstream defense media often misses. The future of air superiority is not set in stone. It is being written right now in the design bureaus and the negotiation rooms.
Make sure you are part of the conversation. Hit that like button to support our analysis. Drop a comment below on whether you think Canada should prioritize US interoperability or national sovereignty. And subscribe to AirDom for the most advanced military intelligence breakdown on YouTube.
Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies.